guys, Jessica here. So today we're going to be talking about the new updated Zomee Z2. So as you've seen on my channel previously and in stuff I've done with other lactation consultants, I liked the original Zomee Z2. It had some limited use. It is what we call an alternating suction pattern pump. So it pulls left and then it pulls right. It pulls left and then it pulls right. Whereas most pumps pull left and right together. There's only a handful of pumps that do this alternating suction, and you either love it or you hate it. Where this one was kind of unique is that kind of the consistent feedback we got from people was that it was running so fast. It was running over 200 cycles per minute in stimulation, and it was using very, very light, fluttery suction. So a lot of people actually felt like it made their nipples go numb. They would get really good milk flow and really strong letdowns for a couple minutes, and then it was like their body was just overwhelmed and it couldn't do anything else until their nipples had a break. We would also get people who switched to it and then would get really frustrated because after a couple days, a couple weeks, their body would seem to stop responding, and it was because it was just too much. So for some people, this was excellent. We tended to recommend it for moms who needed really fast cycle speeds, moms who had a hard time triggering a letdown with a pump, moms who had negative associations with the traditional pull of the pump because that distraction as it alternates between the sides for your brain could be enough to help. But then I had a couple clients who were, avid Zomee Z2 users who reached out and they were like, I got a replacement pump, and pumps do die. That's not a criticism of Zomee. All pumps die. They were like, I got a replacement pump, and it's not the same. And one of them swore to me that there were more settings on stimulation than what there used to be. But we were conversing over text. We weren't able to get the photos and videos that we needed to see what was going on. And then one said, it's just not triggering a letdown for me. It's like it changed. So I ordered a new one to see what was up with it. Because I don't like it when there's changes that we don't potentially know about. I actually wish there was a lot more transparency in the pump market. I wish they would have to tell moms what they've changed, why they've changed it. I think you should always have to tell somebody what the cycle speeds are, what the settings are, what the suction strength is supposed to be, because otherwise moms can't really pick. You're guessing based on other customers' feedback and your body and my body and the random person on Amazon. Our bodies are all going to be different. So that kind of puts moms at a disadvantage, which I don't like. So the previous Zomee Z2 had 5 settings on stimulation, 5 settings on combination mode, which is it was a pull of 5 short pulses and 1 long pull. So it would go basically 10 times. So left, right, pulling 10 times, and then each side got 1 long pull before resuming the short pull pattern. And honestly, the combination mode, while super effective for a lot of people, that 1 long pull on each side where it was alternating, it didn't really do it for most people. It lacked the oomph it really needed. And then one of the moms kind of really clued me in and told me that she felt like the pattern in that combination mode had changed. So with the new one, she was right. There were 9 patterns or 9 levels in each mode. So we have 9 stimulation settings, 9 expression settings, and 9 combination modes, which is awesome. This is a really good update. And I feel like a lot of the updates around here lately have been on the more negative side, not because I don't like pumps or I'm trying to be negative, but a lot of companies are simply cutting corners and they're doing things that don't make a lot of sense. It's definitely not in line with what consumers are actually asking them. The Zomee Z2, they clearly were listening to customers, or they just got lucky. I don't know, because they didn't really announce it. And I feel like they should have rebranded this. And instead of calling it the Zomee Z2, it should have been the Zomee Z 2.0. They should have done something to tell you that they changed it. And they changed it for the better. So I think less people will have an issue with this pump. It still has that alternating suction, but it slowed it down. It's a very, very gentle feeling pull, but also very effective. One of the things I like on their combination mode is it seems like they expanded the combination mode. So the first few levels feel about like the old Zomee Z2. The last couple levels that are new actually feel very, very different. It's much stronger. It's a very long pull. But what it does is it's 5 short pulses on each side and then 5 long pulses on each side. It's going to trigger letdowns for people really quickly. So I do think this is going to be very effective. I think my moms who are, finding really good success with the manual hack or the manual pump where you hold it down during the letdown may find that this particular combination mode is very, very effective because it's longer, stronger pulls, but it kept the speed up. I think we're going to see better results with the Zomee Z2. So overall, I do think this moves the Zomee Z2 up in the ranks. What I don't know now is how durable this motor will be, because that was one of the concerns with the original Zomee Z2, is that they only lasted, 300 to 400 hours, which is not bad, but also that's not a primary pump. But this motor feels better. The body is also slightly different. I can't quite put my fingers on what it is, but the shape is not quite the same. The body just doesn't look quite the same when I held it up to the old Z2. I don't think they are the same pump anymore, honestly. I'm actually questioning whether they changed manufacturers. So the original Zomee Z2 appeared to be manufactured by NCBI, who is a really good manufacturer. And then the Zomee Fit appears to be manufactured by Horizon. I would question if this is not a Horizon pump based on the motor. And the fact that they majorly changed the programming with very limited information about it. Their customer service reps didn't even seem to know that they had changed the pump, which is not a good sign. So that I do want to call that out. When companies make major changes like this, and if you change the pump so much that people notice, you changed it enough that there could be a negative response. For every person we get who has a better response, there'll be another person who was previously responding well who may not respond well now. That should be openly declared, and having new products that customer service is not aware of is not a good thing. So I don't think that the Zomee Z2 is going to jump to that very short list of pumps that we regularly recommend for portables. It is also still on the larger side for a portable. The touchscreen is still really finicky. It does change. I turned it on accidentally while getting ready to record this video, while trying to test it. Turned it on accidentally several times. And it's too big and too heavy for the lanyard. This is just not actually effective. This seems more like a gimmick than anything else. So I don't think it's going to necessarily make that list, but for my moms who are looking at insurance pumps, and this may be what they have access to in the portable market when they don't have access to one of our more preferred recommended ones, this is going to move this up the ranks in terms of what we recommend for moms. I think more moms will be successful with the newer Zomee Z2. The question will be how you tell them apart. The only way to tell them apart is going to be to turn them on and actually check how many levels you have on it. Or you can look here, the design is a little bit differently than the original one. The original one had a little bit bolder word of Zomee, but it's not going to be super easy to spot unless you play with these pumps all day, every day. So overall, I'm really pleased with this update. I think this is really good. I just don't really understand why they haven't made it public. That doesn't make a lot of sense, and that does give me pause for concern with this company, because the lack of transparency is often what we see as a company is going downhill. Once we have that lack of transparency in place, we see things get worse and worse until either they become just another company that really just only sells insurance pumps because they can't actually get people to buy their pumps individually, or we see the companies go under, and that does happen. There are lots of pumps that I have even here in my office that are simply not really sold anymore. And that's because those companies are no longer really around. They're no longer relevant. And that does concern me because I do like the new Zomee Z2. So hopefully this is just a lack of transparency that they're going to correct going forward, because I love the Zomee Fit. And now I can say, honestly, I think the Zomee Z2 could be a really good option to consider if you like that alternating suction. And it's definitely on the more portable side, just not as portable as a lot of our portables out there. So hopefully that helps somebody. Those are my thoughts on the new updated Zomee Z2. Let me know if you have any questions, and happy pumping.